to try to kick into Cash one time. Little Johnny Cash, a classic song called Folsom Prison Blues. Classic song played on a classic instrument. This is a 1950 Fender Broadcaster. Now, I've said that before, but for those that have asked about it, this is not a reissue. This is the real deal. And I understand why it's hard to believe. There's simply just not a lot of these guitars in the world. But this one is the real deal. Made on November 17th, 1950 by Mr. Leo Fender. So I thought it would be fun to do a classic song from a classic artist and a guitar that would have been around to be able to perform on the actual recording itself. I'm not saying this one did it. I'm just telling you this was made in 1950, and it would be a few years later that Folsom Prison Blues was cut. So you just never know. I do not know the history of this guitar. I've had it for 41 years. Bought it from Mr. George Groon in Nashville, Tennessee in 1982. And so I know all about that history, but the years before that on this 73-year-old instrument, I simply do not know who had it. So with that in mind, you never know the history of what you're holding, but it's pretty cool to play an instrument of this vintage and apply it to a classic like this from the era that they would have been shaking hands possibly. So I hope you enjoy this version of this Johnny Cash song. We're just gonna have some fun, pick like we always do, and I hope that you're enjoying the blessings of the day, and thank you for spending some time with me. It goes a little something like this. Yeah, does it? I hear that train a-comin', it's rolling around the bend. I ain't seen sunshine since I don't not know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. Time keeps dragging on, but that train keeps going all down the San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, always be a good boy, don't you ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. But that train keeps a going, I hang my head and cry. Alright, see if we can play it like Mr. Luther. Come on. If they free me from that prison and my railroad train was mine, yes, I'd move it on a little farther down the line. Far from Folsom Prison, that's where I'd want to stay. But that train keeps going, blows my blues away. Let's pick it again. What the heck? Come on. There's rich folks eating in a fancy dining car. I'll be drinking coffee and they smoking big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming. I know I had it free. Well, them train keeps rolling, and that's what tortures me. Let's play it one more last time. Having too much fun to stop it now. What tortures me. Dang it. How can you not just have some fun? You know, and I've also had folks ask me about the length of how long I play a song. And you got to understand what you're witnessing. It's just me having fun picking. I do this with that iPhone camera off and just pick for hours. And you hear all those mistakes that I'm making. Obviously, I'm not trying to hide them. I'm surely not trying to make them either. But, you know, I look at playing a guitar, especially as a lead guitar player, trying to find phrasing where I can have that musical conversation that smoothly transitions into the next phrase. And it's simply difficult to do for me. Now, other people take a guitar and it's fluid for them, and it's not for me. There are moments I have a musical conversation that my fingers and my mind and, you know, these digits here work in unison. And for those brief moments, I've got something that is enjoyable to me. As a professional guitar player, a studio person for a long time, you know, obviously I'm asked to play in segments of songs, so it's easy for my mind to find something for a short amount of time. What's really difficult for me is to play a song for a length of a period, for 2 or 3 minutes, 4 minutes, in this case, longer than that. So I will just run marathons musically and stumble along the way. And I keep preaching that to each and every one of you all, because if you're trying to learn somebody's hot lick, which we've all done and continue to do, and I'm surely not suggesting that you stop doing that, but as far as you're going to get is about 30 seconds of music. And then after that, when it's still your turn to play, you're going to have to pull from your memory bank of what's the next 30-second phrase or the next 15-second phrase, basically licks. And there's so many licks and so many phrases, and there's none better than so many guitar players that we can learn from, the Brent Masons of the world and the Jerry Reeds of the world. And gosh, I could keep going on. There's so many. And by far the toughest thing for me to do is not so much learn the little phrase of something, but it's to extend a phrase. So that's why these prolonged extensions of opportunities that I'm musically trying to achieve, they're simply like running a musical marathon. The difference is, at the end of this race, it's not a question of winning or losing, it's the questioning of the stamina that you built up and the ideas. And some days I'm really cohesive and some days I'm really not. And it's just the nature of it. But if you can learn to run a little bit further musically and push yourself, then you will help unlock a few of those mental roadblocks that sometimes we can have. Didn't mean for the video to get so long, but I'm covering several questions that have been brought to me, and good video to do it. And why not share a little history and some classic country and just a little ramblings from a guitar player that's just having fun playing music. And I would and do play it in front of folks or nobody, because I'm getting the blessings of the music for me, and I just enjoy it. So as soon as this camera's off, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to kick me into cash and keep on playing. So God bless you guys. Thank you so much for listening to me, and for those that have asked those questions, you know who you are out there. I hope that helps a little bit. And whatever you end up doing, just keep on enjoying yourself. So God bless you all, you and your families, and thank you for spending your time with me.